Good evening, gardeners. There's nothing wrong with your TV set. Do not attempt to adjust the picture. I control the transmission. If I wish to make it louder, I'll bring up the vibes, baby. If I want to make it mellower, I'll turn down the fuzz. I will control the highs and adjust your trip. So, for the next 20 to 30 minutes, just dig on the grooves. You're about to experience the effervescing cornucopia known as Return to the Perfume Gardens with that man behind the curtain, number one, Rik Strange. I was trying to do that as who was the guy that was the announcer for the Twilight Zone?
Rod Serling.
Yeah, I was trying to be cool, but I don't have a cigarette because I don't smoke cigarettes anymore. And I didn't bring a doobie. Oh! Never mind, we're going to cut that part out. Our first guest on today's musical expose is a Brit Psych Garage fandango called The Barrier. If any band was on auto-destruct, it was these characters. Now, they literally set the stage equipment on fire. I mean, literally. But before we get ahead of ourselves, let's begin at the begin. Formed in London, some suburb of London, in 1966, they were called the Purple Barrier, which they had to change because somewhere around that timeline, I don't really know that much about Deep Purple. I know Stoner does. Maybe he can tell me. The management of Deep Purple said, you know, you got to drop the purple thing because we're going to be happening and you guys are probably not going to be. So anyway, they had to drop the purple thing. So it starts out with two brothers who were coming out of previous bands. And they were Eric, and I think he was the bass player, and Alan, and he was the keyboardist, and their last name was Francis. They put the Barrier together in '66. And by '67, lo and behold, they signed with a label called iMark Records. EYE. Go figure, I don't know. And they were signed up for a 2-demo expose. Our needle will be interacting with the second demo called Dawn Breaks Through. So, sit down and take a load off your feet. Now that one rides the rails pretty good. I'm going to whip out their big 10-inch.
Oh my.
Yes, oh my. This is the only artifact that is available, but it's actually done pretty well. It's side A has got the A sides of the two demos, and side B has the B side of the two demos. self-explanatory. It's nothing fancy-dancy, and it's on the premium label. Anyway, so there you have it. It's called First, Last, and Always, The Barrier. Now, once again, we're hearing the difference between Brit Psych and us over here on the other side of the pond, American Psych. The thing about these guys is they were more popular over in Europe than they were in their homeland of England. Seems the B-sides that the boys were doing were more what they wanted to venture into. And management, you know, was hoping for a a pop cash in, you know, one of them cash cows, you know, that's what management's always about, you know, is making the moolah and then just disappear, you know, everybody's trying to make another Beatles or Stones or whatever. And that didn't sink in too well with the boys, and so they did a short short dance with these guys, their management, and you know, after that philosophy got to them for about a year and a half, you know, they were going, hasta la vista, baby, and hello, Splitsville. So this was their only semi-claim to fame. One interesting thing is that when they were making money on the road, because they were so popular, like I say, they set fire to the sound equipment that may or may not have been theirs, and they set fire to their own equipment. I mean, literally the fire department was showing up, you know, craziness. But I guess they were a pretty hot group. Anyway, they were over in Europe doing their thing on the continent, in Scandinavia and all over the place, and they come back to England and they find that, well, we have another 45 out. Well, no, they didn't. It turns out management, yeah, baby, gotta love them. Once again, it's the man in his stuffed shirt. They went out and grabbed a bunch of musicians, slammed a popish tuner together, and released it as The Barrier. Well, that was what the straw broke the hay bale. Anyway, they were done with that. Too bad. You know, that's just kind of how it goes. So it really is so much for individual artist, individual thought. I don't know, I kind of got stuck there. You know, I'm in between the third cup of coffee and the bathroom. Anyway, our next grab bag of goodies comes from a Brit. Get this. Stop for 1 second. I gotta check something out just on the cooker. Welcome back. I heard the beeper going off, and I'm going, well, I don't know. Maybe the beans are boiling. Anyway, as I was saying, our next grab bag o' goodies are contestants from a Brit beat, psych, garage, and rock and roll comp where, dare I say, there's even some R&B thrown in.
Where's the kitchen sink?
Well, it's in there somewhere. The comp is called Searching in the Wildness. I'll show you the cover in a minute. But it's Searching in the Wildness. Everybody on this platter is in another long line of short-lived but excruciatingly happening events. Plural. My first hot choice off this disc is by a band called The Buzz. Man, yeah, I know how to spell that word. As par for the course, being obscure means lack of any hard factoids on the band. So let's get down and play that 1967 45 that they released called You're Holding Me Down. Let's just move on and find that happy spot.
Come back, where you came from. You ain't
Oh, nice. Excuse me, went down the wrong pipe. Hey, listen, I don't know if I said anything last time around the horseshoe, but I did get a new amplifier here in the gardens.
Yay!
Yeah, this one is. And you know what? I got it from a DJ who did a bar scene, and I don't know how you could DJ off of this. But anyway, it's a, what's that brand? A Panasonic or something?
Pioneer.
It's a Pioneer! Oh, yeah, baby. Thanks a lot, John. I'm digging it. Anyway, let's look at the record first. This is it, and it's, see, it says Wilderness. Yeah, okay, figure it out.
It's Wilderness.
Yeah, it's Wilderness.
Wilderness.
It's Madison Avenue, but I think it's from. I think this is from Germany. Anyway, we're gonna talk about the Buzz, and you know they were swingers, and they ain't no. These cats ain't no gelfings sailing through the woods on fairy wings. I mean, they're cranking it. They're a bit on the maniacal. Wow, maniacal.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the word I was not looking for. The maniacal side of the moon, eh? Kind of banging there. They're from Scotland, if you can believe that, and they're letting their haggis sacks fly in the breeze. Woo! The thing about it, you know, I was talking about comps, you know, and by the way, there's this really fine. I mean, I even had a magnifying glass to read this, and I still couldn't read it. There is pretty much zero out in the wilderness on these guys. You know, that's a phono obscura, you know, that's how it goes. So that's why I like these comps, because, you know, I'm trying to bring you something that you're never going to hear if I don't. Does that make any sense?
Yes.
That makes a lot of sense. Thank you. So anyway, you know, the thing about these comps is that they throw a lifeline to these topographical one-hit travelers, you know. And the best part about some of these comps is that this cut is one of 16, believe it, 16 cuts on this record. So you can tell that the songs are running about a minute and 10, and that's what radio was all about then. But good Lord, that stuff never even on the radio. Oh, you know, but it's good for tap dancing your feet and getting with some good cheer, and it's a cheap record. And I always recommend cheap when you can, because them dollar signs is not good. So now that we proselytized enough on that, let's you know, let's say we try something with a little bit more civility. You know, because I've been listening to all this crash bang prom after party stuff. Let's try something else. My choice of a change up is a satin voiced female starlet who was born, her name was Patricia Ann Cole, and she changed her name, and she's better known as P. Arnold. She's an American soul singer who honed her chops as a child gospel singer before becoming, get this, an ICAT with the Ike and Tina Turner Review. In '65 she signed up with them. After touring with them in the States and then doing a trip over to England in '66 to tour with the Stones, no less, she jumped ship and takes on a colorful and successful solo career in England, there's more out there about that, and we'll talk about that in a minute, but let's hear this songstress's first chart hit, and the thing is called The First Cut is the Deepest. And dig this soulful tuner, baby, all you cats and kittens.
I would have given you all of my heart, but there's someone who's torn it apart, and he's taking almost all that I've got. But if you wanna try to love again, baby, I'll try to love again, but I know.
Oh man, that is some smooth singing. I do have an affliction.
Well, that's putting it mildly.
As I was saying before I was so rudely intermissioned, let's look at the 45 because it's on the immediate label, and that explains a lot because, let's get this way.
Turn it so you can see the words.
Is that right?
No.
This way.
No. Just forget it.
Okay. Anyway, take my word for it. This is the 45. This is a promo that I got. And the immediate label was was started by Andrew Loog Oldham, who was manager for the Stones at that time. So, anyway, as I was saying, I do like that thing called soul, especially how it was treated in England. They really got, the English really get it. They get the whole thing about Americana, the soul, the rockabilly, all that stuff. I mean, they do. They get it. Mick Jagger was the stimulus for her to stay in England after the tour ended and go solo. And that sister's history is quite a who's who of rock artists also to go with that. I mean, she was backed up on a couple of tunes that she did by the Small Faces, as well as she sang on a couple of their tunes. One was Itchy-Coo Park, and the other one was Tin Soldier. And she went on tour with them, and she's also been associated with Clapton, and I mean, it just goes on. I mean, it just doesn't stop in the 60s. She went on to play, and I think the last thing she churned out was around 2014. She's still on the planet, and I hear that she's got something coming out very shortly, which ought to be interesting. One more quick note is that another one of her backup bands, and this is like in 68, I believe, early 68, was The Nice. Keith Emerson and that whole crowd before they broke out as The Nice and started to do their own thing. Anyway, my suggestion is that you check out her bio on Wikipedia, because It goes on and on and on. I'd love to buy one of her records, but they haven't been reissued, and holy cannoli, you know, gotta love those geezers on the Discogs. You want one of her records? It's rated G. Maybe it even doesn't have a cover, and it's over $200. Well, thank you, no. Pass on that. So I go for the 45s. I'd say just check her out. I mean, she's good. She's really good. Okay. Slamming the door and turning out the lights for today is the LP that bought me my first class ticket on the Hellbound train. Whew. Those blues busters turned rock gods. The name of the record is the Yardbirds Having a Rave Up. Man, I still have my original copy, which I'll show you in a minute, in mono. And I played this thing so much that my mother learned the lyrics. Now, my mother is cool. She's still on the planet. 98 years old, and still loves that Mick Jagger, she tells me. I would recommend for your own benefit that you tighten up your wig, because this chunk of pure raven is going to leave a crater where your brain used to reside. Oh, yeah. The Master Blaster here is called Here 'Tis. There will be no re-entry after you launch from your seat. Wow, wow, wee, wow, woohoo! If anybody doesn't have any brakes on, these Sonic Assaulters don't. Here's the record. Pretty vanilla cover, but you know what? It's what's inside, baby. Let's talk about this thing for a little bit. You know, when you listen to that, now this is the second side we're playing first, and it's all live. And the thing that you hear first and foremost is Clapton's Fender guitar, and it's ringing. It's got that high-end sound, you know, that jangly thing. How do I explain it? I believe he was playing a Strat. I could be wrong. I've been wrong on one other occasion in my life, and this might be my second time. But anyway, be that as it may, the thing that rips me is this whole second side is from 1963. I mean, wow, he was the first madman to lead the way forward into the realm of guitar. Got him, you know, with these guys. I mean, phew. But hey, you already knew that. And but anyway, the second side was done in March of 1963 at the Marquee Club. Now it was released in England only. I got a copy of it. It's really good. The rest of the stuff is good. They just couldn't cram all these other songs onto that disc that, you know, they didn't want to make it a double, so they made it a single. If you get a chance, the name of the album kind of slips me. I think it's called Yardbirds Live, or Live and Yardie. I don't know. Whatever. Google it. It's a really good record. Really good. It's a rip snorting one there, I'd tell you. You know, the first side is then everything that Jeff Beck had started recording about 6 months after Clapton had left, because Clapton, you know how the story goes. He just didn't want to do he wanted to stay pure blues, and they weren't going in that direction. So he recommended Jeff, and Jeff stepped in, and Wimmo Bango, and the first side of this funked out epic has Mr. Beck all over. You know, that whole record is an illustrious train ride, baby. I mean, woo, yard birdie. Well, that's my opinion, and for my money, this is my top 10 gotta haves. It's in my top 10 gotta haves, which I'm gonna do one of these days because it's hard to pick. But this one is definitely in it because I played it way too much. I think I paid $2 for it, brand new. That shows you how old this dirt is. Well, leave it at that. Well, whoosh, well, that's enough excitement for today, because I'm losing my breath, and the coffee's starting to wear off a little, so I need to get some more of that Java juice down my gut. So let's just get down to the real nitty-gritty of our bumperlicious LP background. It's the soundtrack to that really great Sidney Poitier movie, Lilies of the Field. And the soundtrack was created by Jerry Goldsmith, who is a master of the field of soundtrackism. I mean, I got a bunch of his stuff. And right now, I can't remember what else he's done, but take my word for it, he's done a lot. The movie was released in '63, and it broke Sidney Poitier out as a great leading actor, and it's one of those good feeling movies, and it's in black and white, which I really dig. So enough of the Siskel Ebert. If you haven't seen it, try it out. If not, I warned you. Well, that's a wrap for today. And love is the answer, gardeners. And I haven't got any new subscribers, but that doesn't bug me. I'm just glad that you're finding the time to tune in and to see what I might have to babble on about. Oh, Babylon. Oh, yeah, Babylon. Woohoo! Nice place to visit. Wouldn't want to live there. Anyway, thanks for taking your time. Remember, as I always say, peace, love, and flowers. And until the twain shall meet, and it will. We will all hook up at the bridge one of these days. I just wish you all the love in the world, and stay well, and peace.